Okay, welcome to the Improvise podcast. We have got Frank and Mick, and they're going to be doing our hosting for this one. We are going to the audience to ask, what could this podcast be called? What is it about?
Doomsday preppers.
Great. Doomsday Preppers is the podcast. Doomsday Preppers, when you're ready, you can begin.
Welcome to episode 12, the final episode of Doomsday Preppers for Beginners. I am Cliff Doommonger, and this is my co-host, Gary Doommonger, the Doommongers.
Yes. Good day, everybody. I'm Gary, and yes, we're the Doommongers. By name and by nature, that's who we really are. So what's new in the Doomgeist?
Well, Gary, there's 3 days until the prophecy comes to pass. I'm sure everybody is listening attentively, and they've got their bunkers ready. It's really just a matter of time now.
That's right. Anyone who's been paying attention, I mean, all the signs are there, right? We've seen it begin, and it's escalating now to the point where it's clear. Just a few days left, yes.
That's right. Last week, we had the last big sign, which was birds talking in tongues. We were listening very closely, and nobody could understand what they were saying, and it was a big tick. It was the final tick in the checklist of the end of the world.
Absolutely. And who could say it's not supernatural when birds don't even have tongues and now they have them to speak in them? It's a supernatural event for sure. It's absolutely true.
I mean, later in the show, we've got Professor Elaine de Trafford coming on to talk to us about birds and speaking in tongues, world-renowned expert. She's a bit of a skeptic about the end of the world, but we don't hold that against her.
No, of course not. Yes, she's certainly one of the premier experts in her field, for sure.
Okay, pause. That's going to be you, Tomi. You're the expert on this one. By the way, I hadn't asked for any other suggestions, which I forgot to do. So, Tania, you get to choose whatever attitude you want for your caller. Okay, keep going.
We're not in this for the money, but obviously the hosting, we've got such a big listenership that it costs a lot of money to host these podcasts, and that's why we've got a sponsor, which is as we've said, Gary's personal favorite, which is an adult nappy that is personalized with your own name on it. And I think we've got the advert coming in now.
Hey guys, good to be back on the podcast, doing a sponsorship for you guys. Yeah, guys, the adult nappy, the personalized adult nappy. I'm wearing it right now, and can I just tell you, there's no chafing. It feels like a second skin. Okay, like I've gotten so much confidence about the end of the world now that I have my adult. I don't want to call them diapers because they're not. Okay, they're adult pants. Adult pants. Okay, I just want to say that, but you can get your name printed on these pants so that when the apocalypse comes and there's not much of us left, these things are titanium. Okay, your name will be there. People will know who you are. If you have any relatives who's left over, they're going to know who died, okay, from the pants. It is a really important thing, and I really think everybody's got to get on board with this. In fact, I'm really so excited about this, gentlemen, that today, if you buy one of the pants, wonderful, we're gonna give a free one. So we're coupling them up. We've got a couple package.
A free pair, an extra pair. Absolutely.
An extra pair. Okay.
And tell us again the statistics on how many people have accidentally put on the wrong pair of adult diapers because they didn't have their name on it.
100%. That's another reason that you want your name on these things, right? The percentage at the moment is 65.7%. That might not sound like a lot, but it's more than half. Okay, so it's
that's
a
odds
lot.
I'm not willing to.
It's odds we don't want to play with, right? We want to play with those odds. So guys, you don't want to get them mixed up. You want your name on there. You want to be able to be recognized after the apocalypse. Is there any other questions about this amazing product? Frank, sorry, not Frank. I keep forgetting your name. What is it, mate?
Cliff. It's Cliff.
Cliff, it's the stress.
So,
it's the stress of the apocalypse.
It's all right. You've got a lot of pressure. It must be like Christmas for you now. Obviously, the end of the world is in 3 days. Are you going to be able to deliver to people in time for the end of the world? Because obviously, if the world has ended, there's no point in having them.
100%, and I'm really glad you asked the question. Listen, we have invested in this. We have drones. They will be dropping them to your house. Okay, so to your bunkers. So there's no worries about that. Okay, we are guaranteeing delivery on time before the end of days. That is a guarantee. And as I said before, you buy one, you get one free. Couples.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
couples.
going to be the possibility of needing that second pair pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, the world is ending. We're going to have to be in our bunkers, and we might. And I've got one more thing to say about these, actually. Not just Doomsday.
Every day?
See, you can do it wherever you are. Right now, you can do it.
I'm wearing them, and they work.
It works. And how's that absorption?
Thank you very much.
How's that absorption? You felt
dry
you're
as
dry,
a
right?
bone.
You're dry.
Dry as this entire country's going to be after the nuclear wind blows everything
100%.
flat.
100%. Okay, guys, I'm going to get going because, I love this and I want to sit back. I want to watch the podcast. But, you guys need the money. I'm helping you out here. Cliff, I'm working still on your special pair. You wanted to have the filigree and all that stuff. That's happening. That's happening. Okay, that's happening. All right, so guys, get in touch and we can give you 2 for the price of 1, but it's only going to be until tonight, if there is tonight.
Okay, all right, hunker down, bunker brown.
Just bunker down, guys. Stay safe. All right, stay safe.
All right.
Wonderful. We were lucky to get her on the show today because obviously they've got a lot of demand with the deadline in hand.
Absolutely, and the drones are state of the art. I mean, they're zipping back and forth everywhere. I mean, people have been reporting them thinking they're UFOs, but no, delivery drones.
So yeah, they're not the last, the final sign. Like this is the end of the world. The drone UFOs. People are mistaking them for that, but don't worry, that's a few days away.
Yes, that's a few days away, and it's not going to look like anything we've seen before.
No, unlike you, Gary, in your adult nappies, you're always wandering around in them, really living the brand.
And as I say, nothing you've never seen before.
Very true. Let's get on with the podcast now.
Sure thing.
We've got our guest.
We've
Elaine
got our guest. I'd be useless
Trafford.
without you there, Cliff.
It's okay. This is the last episode. Elaine, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's good to be here. I heard that you have some concerns about birds.
Well, you're the expert, the one that's telling us, and the one that understands speaking in tongues, and we're hoping that you might be one that can shed some light on what they've been saying.
So, sure, I can help you with that. Could you please explain what they're saying? Like, how do they sound like?
Yeah, no problem. A couple of days ago, the final sign appeared. You got all the birds in our local trees, and they were saying, wibbly wobbly woo.
Okay, wibbly wobbly woo.
You've never heard a bird say that. I've got a parrot. I tried to teach him it, and he couldn't say it.
Wibbly wobbly woo, that usually means birds are stressed.
I'd be stressed too. The world's ending in 3 days, and they have to deliver a message. Of course they're stressed.
Well,
I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit bunker crazy. I've been in this room for a while.
I wouldn't know. I don't know. It's because the world is ending. It just could be that there is some other factor that's causing their stress. For example,
Well,
I just
Gary has been
saw.
out and about quite a bit in his incontinence pants out in the garden, but we
Yeah.
don't. That's just everyday stuff, really.
And how am I going to watch the birds and see everything they're doing if I've got to go inside just to go to the bathroom?
Hmm. Yeah, the birds are pretty resilient. That I don't think seeing a man in diapers is gonna freak them out. However, what I am really concerned about is that sponsor you just had. She just mentioned drones. So it could be that the drones coming, in and out could be causing the stress. Whippity whoopity do. That's what they would say in that situation.
Oh, so the birds are seeing the drones and recognizing the signs like we are and just trying to warn us.
I mean, I think they're just
Stick to it, Tommy. Stick to your perspective.
trust that there's drones in the area that they fly.
Yeah,
It's nothing to
right.
do with the world ending.
All right, so
It's
what you're
just,
saying is the drones are making the birds talk in tongues.
yeah, that's not necessarily talking, but yeah, it's just the stress the birds are
I
making
just want
that
to
sound.
pin you down here, Elaine. You seem
Yeah.
to be implying that this isn't a sign and that the end of the world isn't due imminently. I just want to make sure that I've got that right.
And that the drones are actually somehow supernatural. So that's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Gary. I'm saying that the drones from your sponsor are stressing the birds, but it has nothing to do with the world ending. And like even if the world is ending, we wouldn't know. There wouldn't be any signs because that's how things are.
I take it you've not been listening to the podcast.
Hmm.
I listened to your
There's,
podcast. I listened to a couple of your podcasts before I came here. Yeah.
there's been some
Mm.
very clear signs. I mean, sign number one, seeing Jesus
Mm.
in a series of colored jellies. That was very obvious.
I mean, I like aeroplane jelly, but I love Jesus jelly.
Yeah. Sign number one ticked off.
And of course,
Okay.
the signs come quickly, and the fact that there are drones and there are reports of lights in the sky and more sightings of Bigfoot than ever before.
Right.
Okay. I think my time is up. Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks very much for bringing
Interesting podcast indeed.
your expertise.
Thanks, Elaine.
Thank you.
I can't believe it.
Oh,
That's another sign. The experts would be
that's right.
confused.
Exactly. Confusion and disbelief is sign number 12. But you skewered her, Gary. You threw out all the facts, and she looked so foolish.
She really didn't know what to say when I accused her of saying that it's the drones that are supernatural.
What a fool. And she was an expert.
Well, she has a PhD.
Yeah. So obviously we've got our bird dictionary that's available on our shop for all the supporters, and we can certainly get that to you in time for the end of the world to have down in your bunker.
And of course, if you download the app too, there is a bird call. Now, listen, we can't translate yet, but you can at least match it to the database and log them if you hear them.
Exactly. I think we've got one of our regular callers on the line.
Oh no.
Hello, are you there?
Yes, it's me. Crystal Metheny, the resident psychic and animal communicator. Now
Metheny.
yes, Crystal Metheny. So I just really felt like I needed to communicate that this whole ending of the world and the apocalypse, it's just all one massive conspiracy. Like, don't stress, like it's not ending. It's completely fine. I've had a vision. The vision is that the world's gonna keep going. Yes, we'll have another round of COVID, but don't worry, it's okay.
That all sounds like it lines up perfectly. We're going to be the ones that let the world keep going because we'll be in our bunkers. And of course, close quarters, we'll probably all get COVID while we're down there. It really lines up so well. So, Metheny, you're amazing.
But the world's not going to end. It's completely fine. You don't need to have drones and bombs and other nuclear weapons where we can fight this. Well, we don't even need to fight because love is going to bring us back together. That's what was written in the stars all those years ago, and it's still true today. All we need to do is just believe that we can bring the world together for a more calm and peaceful place. As you can hear, I'm really passionate about this, and it like really enrages me. You can hear the rage in my voice right now. It's so overwhelming, can't you tell? That like we just all really need to work together to bring this world together.
And what crystal are you charging this month? What that's revealing these secrets, please?
It's the Seraphonite tonight.
Because I had a salt lamp in my bedroom and it seems to be vibrating funny lately.
Yeah. Well, I think you need to replace it with some smoky quartz to really expel that negative energy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'd just like to step in, Crystal, and say this is just such a blatant cash in on all these really, I don't know, naive and immature people who believe in crystals and things, and you're only doing this just to make money. You don't really believe.
No way. I would never say anything like that, but please come down to my Crystal Palace on 45 Selenite Drive at Emerald Waters. Please come down. We're having a massive sale on crystals.
Now, this is you call in every week, and every week you've got a different shop and a different thing to sell, and nobody ever calls you out on it, and no one seems to buy any of your products.
It's the end of the world. Now is the time.
It's the time to admit your heatheny. Come and polish a rock, and I'll tell you a secret.
No.
Crystals.
I can tell
I'm
you.
going to help anybody when the world ends, Crystal.
As I said, I've had that salt lamp in my bedroom for years, and Himalayan not so well.
Well, I think it's just that you need to replace the bulb. It's fine, and just add some extra salt in, and it'll be perfectly fine.
It's a big lump of hard pink salt.
Yeah. You just need to do crystallize.
It's crystal, isn't it?
Yeah. Just crystallize it with your thoughts and manifestations.
Well, I think maybe that might be all we have time for with crystal.
I think so. Yeah, you're really running this podcast off the rails. I'm going to cut you off there.
Just log on to my website. crystalpalace.com.au.
Yeah, people listening, don't go to her website.
Or call my number.
The end of the world is hard enough without having all these.
It's going to be hard enough running to then having your pockets weighed down with shiny rocks.
Exactly.
But you'll be so grounded and prepared for anything.
This is the producer. Cut her off. This cut her off.
You're the producer. Cut her off.
She's gone. So Gary, obviously we've got me and you together in our bunker now for the rest of our lives.
And I mean, I've got to say that it would have been nice to have convinced at least one of those females to have come in a bunker with us.
Yeah. Any females at all who are still listening, you can give us a tweet.
Well, none of your crystal
to...
bullshit, though.
No.
Don't want any of them.
Obviously, we're going to vet them quite strictly. But
if you've ever been abducted by an alien, email, get in touch ASAP. Look, a few days.
Yep.
That's all we got.
Yep, that's right. The future of the human race relies on it.
That's it. The future is over. But
me and Gary, we can't produce offspring between the two of us. I'm sorry that we had to end the podcast on such a down note.
Sorry. We've been on too long. We're oversharing. It's Phil and Gary and Phil. The
end.
Days. Good night.
And show. Okay, very good.